Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the heart of bonsai, exploring the traditional styles that have shaped this ancient art form for centuries. If you've ever looked at a bonsai and felt a sense of calm, balance, or drama, it's likely because it was crafted in one of these classic styles. Understanding them is like learning the grammar of bonsai language. It unlocks a whole new level of appreciation and creativity. So let's start with arguably the most iconic and fundamental style, chokin, or the formal upright. Picture a majestic, powerful tree standing tall and straight in an open field, completely unhindered. That's the spirit of chokin. The trunk is perfectly straight, tapering gracefully from a wide, strong base to a delicate apex. The branches should emerge from the trunk in a well-spaced alternating pattern, with the longest and thickest branches at the bottom, getting progressively shorter and thinner as they go up. This creates a beautiful, symmetrical triangular silhouette. Achieving this look requires careful wiring and pruning from a young age. You're looking for a tree with a strong, visible root flare, known as nabari, that radiates evenly around the base, anchoring it firmly to the ground. Conifers like pines, junipers, and spruces are classic choices for the formal upright style because their natural growth habit lends itself to this straight, dignified form. It's a style that speaks of strength, stability, and timeless elegance. It's the quintessential bonsai image many people have in their minds. Next up, we have a style that's a little more relaxed, moyogi, the informal upright. This is the most common style you'll see in both nature and bonsai collections, and for good reason. It captures the essence of a tree that has faced some challenges, perhaps a bit of wind, or competition for light, but has still grown strong and resilient. The trunk of a moyogi has gentle curves, usually flowing in an S shape. The key here is that the apex, or the very top of the tree, always lines up directly over the base. This maintains a sense of balance, even with the movement in the trunk. Like the formal upright, the branches should be well spaced and decrease in size as you move up the tree. However, the branches typically grow from the outside of the curves, which enhances the feeling of movement and flow. The beauty of moyogi is its naturalism. It's easier to find nursery stock with some interesting curves to start with, making it a very accessible style for beginners. Almost any tree species can be styled as an informal upright, from Japanese maples with their delicate foliage to rugged old junipers. It's dynamic, yet perfectly balanced. Now, let's lean into the drama with shaken, the slanting style. Imagine a tree growing on a windy coast or a steep hillside, constantly pushed in one direction. That's the feeling shaken evokes. The trunk emerges from the soil at a distinct angle, creating a strong sense of tension and movement. The angle can be subtle or quite dramatic, but it should look like the tree is actively resisting a powerful force. To balance this visual pull, the root system on the side opposite the slant needs to be very strong and well developed, creating a visual anchor. The main branches are trained to grow back towards the upright against the direction of the slant to create a counterbalance and keep the composition from looking like it's about to fall over. The overall silhouette is still roughly triangular, but it's an asymmetrical triangle. Pines and junipers are fantastic for this style, as their rugged character perfectly complements the story of survival and persistence that the slanting style tells. It's a powerful and dynamic design that really captures the struggle and beauty of nature. Ready for some real drama? Let's talk about kangai, the cascading style. This is one of the most breathtaking and challenging styles in bonsai. It mimics a tree growing on a sheer cliff face, its trunk and branches hanging down far below the base of the pot. In a full cascade, the tip of the tree extends below the bottom of the container. This style represents a tree's tenacity, clinging to life in the harshest of environments. The trunk grows upwards for a short distance before making a sharp, dramatic turn downwards. The branches are then arranged to create a sense of a cascading river of foliage. To balance the composition, there's often a small, well-defined apex branch at the top of the trunk, which represents the tree's upward struggle for light, even as the rest of it tumbles downwards. Because of their gravity-defying nature, cascading bonsai must be planted in tall, deep pots that provide both physical stability and visual balance. Prostrate junipers, wisteria, and cotoneaster are excellent candidates, as their naturally trailing growth habits make them perfect for creating this stunning waterfall-like effect. A close cousin to the cascade is Han Tengai, or the Sima Cascade style. It tells a similar story of a tree on a cliff or over the bank of a river, but it's a little less extreme. In the semi-cascade, the trunk and branches grow downwards, but the tip of the tree never drops below the bottom of the pot. It extends horizontally or at a slight downward angle, but stays above the pot's base. This creates a powerful sense of horizontal movement and is often seen as more stable and less precarious than the full cascade. This style is incredibly versatile and can be used for many species, including flowering varieties like azaleas, which look spectacular when their blooms are trailing over the side of the pot. The pot choice is still important. While you don't need a pot as deep as a full cascade, a medium height pot or even a square one provides the necessary visual weight to ground the composition. The semi-cascade strikes a beautiful balance between the drama of the cascade and the stability of more upright styles. Let's move on to Fukinagashi, the windswept style. This is perhaps the most evocative style, instantly telling a story of a tree on a desolate, windswept shore or high mountain ridge. Every single element of the tree, the trunk, the branches, the foliage is trained to point in one single direction, as if shaped by a relentless gale-force wind. The trunk is often slanted, and the branches, instead of growing out in all directions, are swept to one side. Even the small twigs and needles are wired to follow this flow. What's fascinating about the windswept style is that while all branches go in one direction, some smaller branches on the leeward side might be shown as jind, meaning they are deadwood, to represent the branches that were killed by the harsh wind. This adds a layer of realism and history to the tree. Hardy conifers like pines and junipers are the classic choice, as they look most convincing in this dramatic, weather-beaten form. Finally, let's talk about a style that celebrates literature and learning, Banjingji, or the literati style. This style breaks many of the conventional rules of bonsai. It's named after the Chinese scholar-artist, the literati, whose minimalist ink wash paintings often featured sparsely elegant trees. A literati bonsai has a long, slender, and often gracefully twisted trunk with very few branches, which are placed high up on the tree. The foliage is kept to a minimum, just enough to keep the tree healthy. The emphasis is on the beautiful calligraphic line of the trunk. It's a style that values subtlety, elegance, and a sense of refined, understated beauty, or wabi-sabi. There's often no clear front. The tree is meant to be appreciated from all angles. Because of their minimalist nature, bunjinji are typically planted in small, simple, and often round pots to emphasize the elegance of the trunk line. Pines are the quintessential literati tree, but any species with a naturally interesting and slender trunk can be trained in this highly artistic and expressive style. And there you have it, a tour of some of the most fundamental and beautiful traditional bonsai styles. From the stoic, formal upright to the dramatic cascade and the poetic literati, each style tells a unique story and offers a different window into the beauty of nature. The best part is, this is just the beginning. There are many other styles and variations to explore. I hope this gives you a framework for appreciating the bonsai you see and inspires you to try your hand at creating one of these timeless designs yourself. Thanks so much for joining me today. Which style is your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more bonsai content. Happy growing, and we'll see you in the next video.